All right, um, so what I did is yesterday in my pre-calc class, I spent a lot of time on pre-calc. So let's just say last year, um, if you were in my pre-calc class, I spent a lot of time on algebra stuff, like a lot. Like we have spent so much time. We spent whole night week talking about like start with like basic math to like algebra one to like algebra two. Um, so but and you can ask around like usually if you got to um my SAT class or my pre-calc class, your SAT should improve significantly. I don't know if I don't know if Winston improved. I don't know if Landon improved. I don't know. They can probably tell you. I don't know. Olivia, they improve or no? No. What was your SAT score improvement? Okay. I know like for I know for one thing that I know that improved the most is actually Shanti. Shanti went from 530 all the way to 700, and I don't know if anybody else. I don't know if Landon did or Emily did. Um, Miranda is like what 700 something too. 680. Okay. I know you had 700. Huh? Okay. Were you taking this weekend? Okay, my son's taking this weekend.
Then my great draw. After taking your class, my SAT score went down.
You got dumber. It's not big. That's not me. You got dumber. It's not my problem.
My English went up, my math went down.
You got dumber. I'm sorry. All right. So one of the SAT question looks like this on the practice 10. If you realize that if you can do my homework. This is a lot easier uh than than my homework. Basically, this is one of the SAT question on practice 10, and practice 10 is pretty hard. There was a lot of question at the end. It was very difficult. It's very heavy, algebra heavy. So sometimes the test get algebra heavy or geometry heavy, or um, but usually like uh, a lot of question are basic math too, like percentages. I cannot help you with percentages because this class doesn't go to anything to do with percentages. But this is one of the questions. And this is one of the questions says, what's equivalent expression of this? Basically, just have to combine fraction, and that's it. And this was a harder question on SAT. The harder question is nothing compared to that. It's nothing compared to that, right? So if you can do this question, you should be able to. You should try it, and see what answer did you get, right? Try it. Um, and this is the question. So here, compared to my test question, is this easy. So let's talk about tomorrow's test. Tomorrow's test, you cannot use power rule. Okay, unfortunately, you cannot use power rule. I know you know how to use power rule, but if you want to use power rule to check your answer, that's fine. But you cannot use power rule at all. Some people look it up. Uh, Kanye, I think.
No, not Kanye.
It was Kanye.
No,
and
it was Peter
Kim,
Griffin.
no, it was Kanye and Kim
No,
Kardashian.
it wasn't Kanye.
I'm telling you, it's Kanye. You want me to pull the video
It's a
up?
different video. That's
Oh,
what Peter
Wait, does your dad play ping pong?
This was this is the only this
He just watch ping pong, but he don't play.
cancel their performance. Bro, he's the number one seed.
All right. So this particular question is actually not difficult. y plus 12. We need to find the common denominator, so you had to factor the other side, right? You can factor what? And then it's x minus 8, right? So now what's the least common denominator between those two?
1 by the left by x1.
Yeah. And then you're going to distribute this. So it is xy, x minus 8, xy squared plus 12xy plus yx minus 8y. So that's equal to xy squared plus 13xy minus 8y over xy times x minus 8. And that was the equation. That was the answer. Dude, that's a lot easier than my homework questions. Right? All right. Hopefully you know how to do that. Yes.
Why would you put x minus 8?
How? What? Why don't I distribute? I don't have to, but the problem is actually on the SAT, it's a choice. They actually distribute the bottom. I actually prefer factor form. The reason why, if you're in factor form, you can find vertical asymptote easily. And so I would rather leave it in factor form. So whoever write the SAT question is actually the most simplified, supposed to be the most factor. But the person who write that question didn't do a good job. So they distributed in the bottom, just like Hannah says. But like I say, it's not preferred because it's much easier to find vertical asymptote is in a factor form. If you distribute it, it's harder to find. Okay, so remember this question was f of x equal to 4 over root x, right? Everybody was struggling with this question yesterday. So then I will write down f prime of x equal to limits as h approach 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x over h. Now, for some of you guys, need to recognize says, okay, well, I'm just gonna start with the first step. A lot of time, like people just like look at the question, just stop. You gotta take that first steps and just go in at it. And you start figure out what the small thing that you're missing. Because a lot of you guys missing a lot of simple algebra skill and start with, but you had to start somewhere. You had to go in to substitute x plus h. So it'll be 1 over x plus h minus 1 over 4, right?
Yeah.
And there's a 4 over x over h. Now, if you realize all the question is because h approach 0, this is going to go 0. If this go to 0, it's undefined. So you somehow had to figure out a way to get rid of that h. Then you say, okay, well, let's have a combined fraction first because I have two fractions I can combine. So if I combine, it's going to be square root x times square root x, square root x plus h over square root x plus h. Questions? And then once you combine, then you got limits as h approach 0, so it's 4 root x over. Now you have a same denominator now. 4 root x over square root x plus h minus 4 root x plus h divided by x. So now if you see this divided by h here, then it's the same thing as 1 over h. Is that okay? Because you divided by h is same thing times 1 over h. If you multiply out, it's still same thing divide. So this h still the problem. You have to find a way to get rid of them. But obviously right now, there's no way to get rid of them. So I would say, let's leave this for right now because I need a conjugate here. So I need to multiply the conjugate. What is conjugate of 4 root x minus 4 root x plus h?
4 root x plus 4 root x plus h.
There you go. So now we see that. So it's going to be 4 root of x plus h over 4 root x plus 4 root x plus h. Now, this is all the math that you know how to do, except it's a little bit more complex than before. And that's limits as h approach 0. Remember, on tomorrow's test, you cannot use power rule. You have to show me all the work in order to get credit. So therefore, it's gonna this is a minus b and a plus b. If you distribute now on SAT, they love the difference of the square. A plus b times a minus b is equal to a squared minus b squared. You're gonna see that concept when you're taking over the weekend. You're gonna see the difference of a square. So therefore, it's gonna give you a squared, which is 16 root x times root x is gonna be x minus 16 and parenthesis x plus h, because if you square root, they just get rid of each other. On the bottom, it's gonna be pretty massive, so is that okay? And now times 1 over h. Now you can see that on the top can be simplified because this is gonna distribute. So that just distribute the top. So it'll be 16x minus 16x minus 16h. So this cancel out, right? So this whole thing left with pretty much you can cross out everything. You can say that's 16h negative. Right? Am I doing okay? So this h cancel out. And that's going to be negative 16. Now I'm going to have a negative 16 all over. The h is going to direct substitution. This h is direct substitution. So I'm going to have square root x times square root x times 4 root x plus 4 root x. And that's going to go to be negative 16 over x times 8 root x. Is that okay?
Wait, can you go back and explain why you canceled out the h that's below the 1?
Because this is this simplified to negative 16h, right?
Okay.
And this is h, right? So 16 times h, the h can cancel out. It doesn't kill a kitten.
Okay.
It doesn't kill a kitten because it's a multiplying. If it's h plus 16, the h cannot cancel out, but it's negative 16 times h. So it's times is okay. Addition, subtractions, no. That is it connected to something else?
I guess I just don't understand where the negative 16h came from in the first place.
I distribute this. Do you see this distribution?
Oh, okay.
So you put that part as a parenthesis and you're gonna distribute.
Just
Okay, now 16 and 8 can simplify, right? So that this part is can simplify because they are multiplication. So that'll be negative 2 over x root x. Is that okay? And if I plug in, now a lot of time you can actually simplify it more. And this could be another SAT question. What is x root x in term radical? So this is a to the m times a to the n equal to a to the m plus n. There's two roots. And also this definition of radical. So what happened is square root x can be rewrite as x to the 1/2, would you say? So that's equal to negative 2 x times x to the 1/2. So technically you can get to here. Is negative 2 over x to the 3 over 2. Now this answer and this answer both are acceptable. I actually prefer this answer just because that is much more simplified and also knowing how to exponent. Just by doing this, that should help you out at SAT question about exponent rules. Because sometimes SAT question have some question like this, and just by doing this. Miranda, yes.
The square root into themselves, would you count it?
What?
Would you count the square root into them?
No, they both are correct answer. I would tell you I prefer the other one just because the other one I can take another derivative. Let's just say if I want to take a second derivative using power rule, because it will be much easier to take a second derivative with x to the 3 over 2 rather than x root x, because then you still have to combine eventually. So that's what I'm saying is more practical to be a rational exponent rather than radical form. Yes.
I factored out the 4 that way. For conjugating it, I only do square root of x plus square root x plus 8.
If you didn't break in math, it's fine.
Okay.
You get the same answer?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
So, I mean, I'm just confused on why we put like x times x to the 1/2 if you get x to the 3/2 because you just add the exponents.
Yeah, so imagine that if you have x squared times x to the third, right? This is just gonna be x times x, and this is x times x times x, right? This is just gonna be adding, right?
Okay.
So that's gonna be 5. Now, if you have x to the 20 times x to the 30, you don't want to write down 20 times and 30 times. You can say this number just gonna add. So that's x to the 50.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. So it'll be x1 plus 1/2. So that's gonna be adding fractions.
Alright, cool.
All right, so that this is the question, but then we can say equation tangent line. Tangent line is y minus y1 equal to m times x minus x1. So what happened if I'm gonna plug in 9 here? So that's gonna be y minus equal to so f prime of x is equal to -2 x root x. So f prime of 9, that's gonna be -2 over 9 times 3. No, 9 times 9 is going to be -2 over 27. So -2 over 27, x minus 9. I'm going to plug in the f of 9 to get a y value. So I think it's 4 over root x. So it'll be 4 over 3. So it'll be 4 over 3. And this equation tangent line. Now, those of you taking the SAT, you know SAT also asks you perpendicular line, which is also here is called normal line. So it'd be y minus 4 over 3 is equal to 27 over -2 times x minus 9. And this is the normal. Oh, sorry, this is normal. Normal, a lot of people think about normal as just like a regular line. It's not a regular line. Normal represents normal forces, which is a perpendicular to the incline according to physics. Now, in physics, you might learn another term. It's called orthogonal. Orthogonal is also means perpendicular because orthogonal is another way to say the dot product is equal to 0. You might learn something called dot product later. A dot product is another mathematical operation that you deal with cosine. If you cosine of 90 degrees, it's going to give you 0. Therefore, the result will give you 0. So that's called orthogonal. So normal, orthogonal, perpendicular are the same words. It's just different vocab. Yes, Kevin?
Can you go over power rules so we can check our work on the test easily?
You, no, you can watch Peter Griffin.
Alright.
No, I rather you don't use power rule. It's just because I want you to build your algebra skill and be confident in your algebra skill.
Yeah.
I don't want you to use a power rule, but you can use power rule to check your answer if you care about your grade. But I care about your knowledge, whether you can do the tedious math, because the tedious math will eventually is going to catch up to you, and that's why most of my students doesn't have problem when they go to Calc 3, because they get very tedious, and they go to differential equation and no problem. I think I still get like messages people send me like he said, hey, Mr. G, I got 103 on my differential equation test. And that's where I want. I don't want you to like pass my class and not able to get to Calc 3 and Calc differential equation. Yes, Miranda?
I thought the slope was supposed to be -4 over 3.
No, the slope is not -4 over 3. It's -2 over 27, right?
I got that too, but I got it with a.
You had to get a y value. The y value is plugged in here. It's 4 over 3.
Wait, like I got the same, but I flipped it.
No, this is a -2 over 27, and 27 over 2 is a perpendicular or normal.
Like I put like 27 one.
Yeah.
Oh, you cannot because -2 over 27 is the slope. The derivative is a slope. If you plug in the derivative, it's a slope.
So when you plug the number in the derivative, it's a slope.
Yes, and if you plug in original functions to the output, which is the y1. All right. So tomorrow's quiz, you are gonna have to give me a second. You're gonna have to expect definition of derivative for sure. You are definitely have to think about limit as x approach infinity. And you definitely had to think about horizontal asymptote. You definitely had to think about vertical asymptote. You definitely had to think about equation tangent line and normal line. Those are the things that you have to concern about. Yes, Hannah.
How can we check on this?
How do we check on decimals? That's a great question. So let's just say I'm gonna type in so I'm gonna check. That's a great question, by the way. Nobody asked this question on prior period. 4 over root x, right? That is the equation, right? So it's y minus it's 4 over 3, right? Is equal to up is equal to on the bottom, and is equal to negative 2 over 27 times x minus 9. And you see that's the tangent line of that point. Does that make sense? You got it? If you type in, they should intersect in that particular region, not the whole region. In that particular region, only intersect one point. But not the whole region, because sometimes the line extend longer, they will intersect other point, but doesn't mean it's the tangent line is only in small region that intersect one point. All right, so we're gonna talk about today's stuff, which is today's stuff is f of x equal to x cubed. And so this is a function, and this is a line. 3x minus y plus 1 is equal to 0. And the prompt is going to be this. Can you find an equation of tangent line that is tangent to the graph? You guys have pissed me off right away. Okay, so I'll read it to you. It says find the equation of tangent line that is tangent to the graph of f and parallel to the given line. Now on SAT, they love to ask you perpendicular and parallel. Parallel means what? Same slope. Okay, so now how do I do this question? What is the idea of this question? We got f of x equal to x cubed. We got a line 3x minus y plus 1 is equal to 0. And we say, hey, can you find equation of tangent line? That means that's parallel to this. So parallel to what? The line, right? So what would be a good idea? Let's think about, do you guys understand the question? A lot of time when you're doing math is, do you understand the question? You should always ask yourself, do I understand what the question is trying to ask before you execute it? Because you just rush into doing stuff without knowing, that's really bad. You waste time, you waste thinking. So you rather slow down and think, well, how will you approach this problem? So can anybody suggest how to do this problem? Yes, Winston?
I was gonna ask, is like 3x minus 4 plus 1?
3x minus y plus 1, sorry. 3x minus y plus 1. Landon?
You should find the slope of the line.
You should find the slope of the line. Why? Because you want to parallel to that line, right? So what is slope of this line? 3, right? So that's y equal to 3x plus 1. So slope is equal to 3. Good. What do you do next?
Can you find the x cubed using the biggest slope?
Using what?
Using big as a slope. Okay.
No. But you had something to do with it. You have a good starting, but it didn't end well. Your starting point was good. So what do you do next?
I'm gonna take the derivative.
Yeah, take a derivative of what?
I'm gonna take the derivative of f of x.
Okay, good. That's a good idea. So that's what Lyndon says, but it's not plug in though. You want to equal to 3 rather than plug in 3. There's a big difference, right? So and like I say, you start good, you start the same thing as Jacob say, but you say plug in 3. No, you're not supposed to plug in 3, you're supposed to take a derivative, set it equal to 3. So we're trying to find f prime x of x cubed. So do you guys know how to find f prime? Remember, you don't have power rule. Peter Griffin doesn't teach you yet.
3x squared.
Yeah, great, but I need you to show me the work. Trust me, I will teach you power rule, and by then you will learn power rule, and you will learn like, oh, wow, this is such a nice thing. But we're also gonna teach you the proof of power rule, which is no, probably not. It's actually not necessary.
It's not necessary.
Not a proof. Not a proof of the power rule, because it's you need to know a lot of algebra for
Are
it.
you serious?
You need to know Pythagorean identity, or you need to know like Pascal triangle and stuff like that.
It's trying.
Pascal triangle,
I don't even know how to do that. He's talking about some do Pascal's triangle.
Pascal's triangle, yeah.
We have to do that for this problem?
No.
Okay, good. We can do it.
Oh, you can do. You have to do that. You can do it in this problem. You don't have to, but you can do Pascal triangle.
What? You know the Pascal? Yeah. So I think
Wait, let me see.
Yeah.
So we had
Yeah,
What?
We had to
I got 13331.
Yeah, but you have to take a derivative first. So let's take a derivative together. H approach 0, and then this is x plus h to the cube minus x to the cube over h. Now, Winston says Pascal triangle. You don't have to. You can just brute force this. You can brute force this. It's kind of pain in the butt, but that's equal to limits as h approach infinity. H approach 0, so that's going to be x squared plus 2hx plus h squared and x plus h. You can use Pascal triangle. I think take shorter time. So that's going to be x to the cube plus hx squared plus 2 plus 2hx squared plus h squared x plus 2h
Yeah.
square hx plus h square x plus h to the third minus x to the cube.
Square root of that.
That's why that's the
This will cancel out.
Can you teach the Pascal triangle way after?
Yeah.
Okay.
Limit h approach 0. I'll teach you everything you need to know about Pascal triangle if you give me enough time. So that's gonna be 3h squared plus 3h squared x plus h to the cube over h. Now you can factor out a h.
Why is it 3h squared?
Huh?
You forgot.
Because those two are add together. So those two add together, those two add together. So we can factor out a h. So that'd be 3x squared plus 3hx plus h over h. That's gonna cancel out. When the h approaches 0, this is gonna go 0, this is gonna go 0, so the answer is 3x squared. So Peter Griffin's right. Okay, so now we're not finishing the problem because we just find the slope of this. We want to make sure this slope to this equal to each other. So therefore 3x squared equal to 3, x squared is equal to 1, x must equal to what? Plus minus 1, yeah. You cannot forget the plus minus 1. So there was two situations in this case that tangent lines exactly equate to 3x minus y plus 1. So when x equal to 1, y must equal to 1 as well because x cubed. When x equal to -1, y is equal to what? -1. The slope is equal to 3, slope is equal to 3. Guess what? I can form an equation. Y minus 1 equal to 3 times x minus 1. Or y plus 1 equal to 3 times x plus 1. So this too is the answer for today. I will give you answers today so that way. No, I won't give you an answer because you want you to check on Desmos whether they are parallel. So how would I check this question on Desmos?
What is the y equals 1, y equals negative? What is the standard right there?
This one here?
Yeah.
Slope. M is equal to 3. Because if I take a derivative, I'm going to find out 3. But I also can take a derivative of, yeah, I can take a derivative of 3x squared. I mean, take a derivative of x cubed is 3x squared. If you plug in 1, it's 3. So that means slope by 1 is equal to 3. Yeah. Because according to the prompt, what did the prompt says? The prompt says find the equation tangent line that is tangent to the graph of the given line. So we find out it's 3, we want to find out it's tangent to that. So that means you have to have the same slope as the other one. Or they say parallel. So that means same slope. So what that means is this, you get this situation, then I will actually go and graph it. So first of all, what's the function? What's the function they give it to you? X cubed? Okay, well, graph x cubed. What else?
There's the line 3x minus y plus 1 equals 0.
3x plus 1?
Yeah.
So that we have this black line, right? So we got the two equation we solved. Y minus 1 equal to 3 times x minus 1. Do you see that's parallel? The black line and the black line and red line, that's parallel. And y plus 1 equal to 3 times x plus 1. And you're like, oh, all three lines are parallel. Because what happened is you want to find the equation, you want to find it somewhere along the line that have same exact slope as that line. Parallel. So that's why you said the derivative of 1 is equal to slope of the other one. And at that particular point, it happened twice. Not always happen twice. It can happen once. So yes, and that's how you solve the problem. Yes.
How do you get the y?
Plugging 1 to the x. Plugging 1 to the x cube.
All right, cool. Thank you.
How much time I have?
10 minutes.
You want to learn about Pascal triangle?
Yeah, I want to learn.
All right, Pascal triangle. And you need the reason why I want to go through let's make sure everybody understand this or don't understand this. Yes, Miranda.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, what do you write about?
What did I write? Where?
Right.
Where? Move your seat.
No, we see it right there.
Here?
There, Mr. Yang.
Oh, my God.
Wait.
Like, Mr. Yang, is it gonna be on the test tomorrow?
I may. So this may be on tomorrow's test. I don't know. I don't. Depending on how I feel like tonight. I create a test in the morning.
No, Mr. Yang, please be nice.
What? I create a test in the morning.
You do Pascal triangle people?
Huh?
You do Pascal triangle?
Wait,
Yeah.
I have a question first. So
Yeah.
You said that the definition of derivative, once we solve that, that's slope, right?
Yeah, that's a slope at any given point.
Okay, cool. But then m is also slope, right?
Yes, but the reason why you got m equal to 3 is because you plug in 1 into 3x squared, so that's how you get 3. So at x equal to -1 and +1 is when that equal to 3.
Yeah.
If you want to know the slope at 2, just plug in 2.
Wait, I was confused because I thought that you divided 3 by both sides.
Yeah, I did. I divided by 3 on both sides. And I got x squared equal to 1. So this is a situation. This is where the x value, where the slope is equal to 3. Remember, you can plug in 1 into here, you're going to get 3. because that's equal to 3.
Yeah, how do I know when to set n equal to definition of derivative?
So m is the slope of the line,
Yeah.
right? So this equal to each other. So this has to equal to 3.
Okay.
So we wanted this to equal to 3. We wanted f prime of x is equal to 3 here. That's our goal, which is we solved 3x. Where we told you when do they equal to 3. At x equal to 1 and x equal to negative 1.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, and that's only when we're solving for tan lines.
Yeah. All right. Yes, Miranda? Yeah, but I didn't ask you that. I asked you says remember the thing is a parallel to the giving line. All right, Pascal triangle. I'm gonna teach you about Pascal and triangle in very short time. So that's like if you have x plus h to the third power. This is a 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1. So you're gonna write down 1, 3, 3, 1 like this, and you're gonna say x to the third power, x to the second power, x to the first power, x to the 0 power, and you have h to the 0 power, h to the 1 power, h to the 2 power, h to the 3 power. So that's gonna give you 1x cubed plus 3x squared h plus 3x h squared plus h to the third. And not only that, I'm going to tell you the stats. I'm going to teach you stats right here. Cooper is going to teach you this too. So you can use this on stats. Here's how you use that on stats. Imagine that you have 3 child. And the child can have multiple possibilities. You can have all boys, that's bad. You could have all girls, that's also bad. Right. Because the 3 boys gonna be flip the house upside down, and 3 girls they're just gonna be like. Yeah, it's like Dad, can I buy this dress? And we came and say no to you, right? And there's 3 girls asking, can I buy this dress? Can I have another one? And you have another shoes? Yeah, so you don't have 3 girls. But yeah, but you got a possibility. Imagine this X is the girl, H is a boy. So those are the possibilities. You can have 3 girls, right? 3 girls. That's one possibility. You could have 3 boys, right? You could have 1 girl and 2 boys.
Okay.
But you could have different order of the same situation.
Okay.
H, X, H, right? And you can have H, H, X, right? So there is a 3 situation are 2 boys and 1 girl. There's also another 3 situation. You got 2 girls, 1 H.
Hey, bro, I think you're reaching with that stats analogy. Mr. Cooper didn't teach us anything like this.
Okay, so that's to show you that there's total 9 different situations. You can have 3 girls. You have 3 boys. You have 1 girl, 2 boys. You have 1 girl, 2 boys, but there's 3 different order. 3 different order. You have 3 different order here too. Now you have a possibility. The possibility is those possible chances. See, this is 1. This is 3. This is 3. This is 1. Do you see that? This is the x cube, right? And this is the x squared h, right? And this is the x h squared, right? And this is h to the third, right? Now, what are the possibility? You have 3 girls. If you have like 50-50% to get boys and girls, what's the possibility? The possibility is those total possibilities 8. So it's a 1 out of 8. So that means you have 12.5% chance. If you have 3 child, they are 3 girls. there are 12.5 the chance that you is gonna get 3 boys because of this 1 out of 8 possibilities. So that's 1/8. Now, how many possibility you have 2 boys and 1 girls? Well, 37.5%. And this 37.5% because you got 3 chance out of 8. So Pascal triangle can use for a lot of purpose. So Pascal triangle was invented in a person named Pascal Blaise. So that's person who got credit for. Actually, the people invented Pascal triangle because he's white. He gets all the credit. White people get all the credit. 500 years ago, there was a Chinese person named Yang Wei invent the Pascal triangle before Pascal ever invented. Before the Chinese guy, there was a Syrian. They called it Mount Meru staircase. So they have no, it's the actual term, Mount Meru staircase. Look it up.
That was his name.
No, it's not his name, but they called it Mount Meru staircase. There is a mathematician now. It's called Fractals. Is it deal with Pascal triangle? The Pascal triangle are the roots of power rule. Actually, I don't have time to explain it, but I'll take a picture to show you after I teach you power rule. There's a proof of power rule is using Pascal triangle because basically you want to take a derivative of x to the 5 power. Right? You have to do x plus h to the 5th times, which is you need a Pascal triangle. But you know it's 5x to the 4th, but why that is 5x plus 4? Because a lot of terms afterward, they will cancel out. So, and that's the idea for math. It's very interesting. Pascal triangle can use a lot of different purposes in math. There was another term called Sierpinski triangle, which is also it show you a lot of different things, show you like the mathematical art, which is that's very interesting. But if you're interested, I'll send a video about you can look at TED. There is a Pascal triangle on TED education videos. It actually talk about all the things that we just talked about. It's really interesting.
It was an Iran, not Syria.
Huh?
You guys have made it with Persian.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Mount Meru staircase?
Scared before that. There was a Persian guy that that's okay, the OG. Like I said, the all the OG besides the Persian guy, bro.
I apologize.
Not that guy. I was like waiting for the president. I never said it, bro. I was like waiting like that.
Where you from, Actually, the Mayans create a negative number.
See, you're welcome. I might be.
Bro, I got negative numbers. Help people with
Negative numbers are
negative
great.
numbers.
Please don't kill me, and I'm not gonna be here.
No,
That's like the only
that's
first
crazy.
test. Okay.
Everybody
It's a test or
already.
Let's book the tour PDF tomorrow.
That's reason.
So. Oh my god. Thank you. I'll take it Monday.
We're actually reviewing that.
There's a horizontal asymptote video.
Okay.
Yeah, you look at the video, it says find horizontal asymptote.
Okay.
It talked about details.
Mhm.
It talked about 3 questions I'll ask you.
Yeah, I was able to do just like 2 of the asymptotes for the homework yesterday. I was confused.
There was a video.
Thank you. I forgot to bring lunch today. I woke up late today. I missed it. Want this? No, I want it. Oh, I get 100 in your test. This might be my first 100 in your class. What? If I get 100 in this test, it might be the first 100 I ever got in your class.
You're gonna make some stupid mistake. I know it. But
No. I'm not gonna make a mistake. I know.
by tomorrow, you're gonna be like, "Oh, Mister, yeah."
No. I got it. This is like.
You're gonna be like, "Oh, I can't believe I did this shit again."
No. You gotta make extra credit so like I get higher than that.
You have COVID? You have COVID.
It's going around.
Go ahead.
Over like 2 weeks ago. I'm like 2 steps ahead.
Russell, I got my immunity up, son.
I'm muted, yo.
Mr. Yeah, apparently, you know how Mr. Ollie is doing the limits test? Some of the questions he's giving are so weird. Like I was looking at,
You're so stupid.
like it was, you know how we do the find what A and B equals to? It's like there's 5 parts of it and it makes no sense because you can't do a proper limit. And it was like and it was using equal signs in the inequality too.
Yeah. He uses his homeworks are so bad.
I don't know. People were so confused with like what to do.
They have a test today, right?
No, I think it's the tests. Yeah, he does quizzes and tests. I don't know. I've heard mixed things so
Ooh,
far.
my cookie's here.
I don't care. Not my problem.
Does he use different tests than you?
Yeah. He uses this guy that he goes through a training. But if he uses my test, he cannot teach because I have my way of teaching.
Yeah, they would all fail.
Yeah, they will all go.
Because what is it? Your tests are more advanced than
My test is more.
yeah. It's like fit. You got some? Wait an hour.
Huh? I got it from the second door for one.
Are you trying to finish grading today?
Macros no more.
Are we going to finish grading the test?
No. We already finished grading most of the tests.
She did it. She did it just like that.
What?
You are so dark, bro. Like, I'm so proud. It's like, the glass house are disintegrated. It's the guy that betrayed someone. Oh my god, it's definitely got water because
Me and Lee are
Oh, there's a movie? When? Oh, I might take my kid. Wait, the movie is they are gonna fight the final guy?
Are you? No, we're all getting. Are we all doing?
Which one do they have all? Yeah, with this mom. Are you gonna watch it?
He died. So then say they did all the things that they do all this and they have seen these
So,
oh my god. His daughter saw him die. That mom has to say, Brown. That's so sad. You're so brown. You're actually he's dying as a white. The Jimmy
Are we doing anything today, Mr. Minute? Yeah, we are. Pardon? Leave me alone. Yes, sir.
No one's going to getting shot. Shot. How many years have you been
take it deeper.
Shut up, bro. So then we had to talk about
All right, so we are gonna go to related rate. So related rate will be one of the tests that you guys might still struggling. Hopefully not, but you might have a struggling. Now I'm gonna go to related rate because separate in this classroom you have to pay attention. But if you don't pay attention, then you pretty much have two chances. A, B, or B, C. But hopefully you got a B, C. You don't have to do A, B. So and Alejandra's help me finish the grading the rest of the test. I'll pass you at end of the period. I will say there some people are still not doing well in this things. I have most people are graded. It's out of 42, so if you test right down over 40, then it should be over 42. Sixth period is better than this period. I think. Because most of them they have 90s and 80s. This period there's some student mess up. I'm just looking through all the test questions. People need to stay after do this correctly. Are Aria, Jesus, Sepper, Katie, even Emily. And we're talking about so and yeah, you need to go back to stay over and go over all those things. But the rest of you guys did like probably like above a C, something like that. If you're above a C, you do need to go back to fix your mistakes. But those are people I mentioned. I really have to sit down and says, hey, how do I do this? How do I do it correctly? So if you are this far into BC, all this test questions should be a very easy 80 to 90%. Now, if you score lower than that, then that means there's some slight issue that you need to change. Now, we're gonna go to related rate. Related rate is very easy. We're gonna go to a couple cases. So if you guys don't remember related rate, make sure you know it. So we have talked about implicit derivative. All right. So related rate basically now you want to take a derivative not respect to x, you are taking derivative respect to time. So it will be d to the dt. So for example, that thank you. For example, that you want to take derivative respect to time, and for those who guys are in a competition, we're gonna that trout question. I don't know if you guys solved it at the end. That's a related rate questions, and the trout question is a very different situation. So for me, like I want you to know certain questions with the you have to understand how to do sphere, cone, shadow, angle. Do you guys remember all those?
Yeah.
So you want me to write it down? Okay, angle, like a volume of something, volume and areas. Those are one type of questions, right? And the cone is I will categorize it as another questions because the cone has two relationship rather than one, and you have to do two relationship to combine to one. You have to deal with shadow problems, and you have to deal with the the angle problem, ladder problem. Ladder has something to do with Pythagorean identity. And then yep, that's pretty much it. Most of the things that is gonna be involved those five questions, five different questions.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you some situation and you guys gonna solve. So I'm gonna start with the volume questions. Again, and I want to see if you guys are able to do it. So let's say air is being pumping. Air is being pumped into a spherical balloon. Spherical balloon. Where's Ian? He's still in the bathroom. Why do you go check the kids? Okay. At a rate of 4.5 cubic feet per minute. Find the change of radius. Change of radius when radius is 1 foot. Okay, so let's start with this question.
Isn't there a way to solve it?
You guys remember this?
That's the one I was talking about. Like, that is actually one is like actually. What was that as 900?
Last year, I looked at ChatGPT
And then
what?
I don't know.